Hey guys, it's me, Fruity, back again with another video. I know I just uploaded yesterday at the time of filming, but this idea has been living in my head just rant-free, besides murder drones obviously, because that hyperfixation has clearly got me. As you saw in the title, we're casting Mean Girl characters using Total Drama Island characters. So I know it's not that original of a concept, but I promise there are some things that might be totally shocking and super radical and hip with the kids. So we're gonna go into the video and let's pop right in. Alright, we're starting off with the plastics, and literally 2 out of 3 of them everyone has agreed on. I've never seen anyone fight over the first 2, but the last one I'm gonna mention, I've seen many different opinions, but let's start off with our first girl. Regina? Okay, we know who this is. I have not seen a single person disagree with this at all. Everyone, and I mean everyone, every single person and their grandma has agreed on this one. Heather is Regina. I mean, it makes sense. Heather literally made a reference to Regina in her own show. I mean, there was that one line in Mean Girls where Regina said,
"That is the most ugly effing skirt I've ever seen in my life."
And Heather said, "Those
Were the ugliest earrings I've ever seen.
So clearly they give off the same vibe, and literally no one disagrees. So I'm making everyone happy here and myself. So obviously Regina is Heather. Okay, next up we have Karen, which is obviously Lindsay. I mean, have you seen her in the movie, especially in the musical? The musical is like all we need to figure out this is Lindsay. I'm sorry, like really sorry, don't have a lot to say here. Lindsay is literally Karen. Okay, next up we have Gretchen, which is actually where it gets complicated. But I'm gonna basically list off all the reasons I wrote down in the script about what I thought would be Gretchen, like the characters that match up well. Okay, we have the most popular pick by the fandom, which is basically Courtney, and the reason why is because she has a bossy, perfectionist, teacher's pet kind of energy that lines up with Gretchen's vibe, and also like they both are like perfectionists, as I already mentioned, which is why I feel like they would both like help Heather out, and why everyone else thinks that too. Also for the aesthetic reasons. Okay, I've seen some people argue that Beth is better, especially because in my opinion, thinking about it, it works better with the Total Drama like canon, like in the series, especially because like her, Lindsay, and Heather were like the trio, and you could classify them as the plastics. And now we have Sierra, which is like I've only seen one other person like do this with an edit, but basically I feel like Sierra, like since she like knows so much about Total Drama, like this is just my added thoughts from what that person's headcanon for Mean Girls is. Basically, I think she would be really good, especially because it matches with the musical perfectly with the lines where it's like her hair is full of secrets like that because she has the like biggest hair out of everyone here. My favorite to have Gretchen as out of all these 3 is definitely Sierra, but overall with aesthetics, I definitely prefer Courtney, so we're just gonna do Courtney. Okay, here's the next people I'm gonna cast.
Stylish bag that's kind of shaped like your mom? Why is this bag shaped like your mom?
Honestly, my mom is kind of built like a bag.
Okay, actually, the same person who said Beth would be a better Gretchen said that Courtney would be a better Katie. Which you'd think I'd like because, you know, that means Courtney becomes canon because of someone else. At least I can say they interact in a friendly way and aren't toxic in the plastics. But however, I don't actually like this too much. I actually think Bridget is better casting. I don't know, she feels more like a Katie, and especially because Bridget had scenes with Heather in Island where Heather was kind of being the manipulative one and trying to be all nice to Bridget so then she could get Bridget on her alliance.
Oh, your hair looks great today. So natural.
Thanks.
How do you take care of it? You have to share your secret.
It's nothing really.
Watch it with this one. She's trouble.
I also feel like they have similar enough personalities to fall for the same things. Now we're gonna do literally every single other person I have to do because I don't think we need like a whole section for each person, since I feel like I can just group them all together for the end of the video.
Devious Diva, Heather!
Okay, just a little warning here. I might pronounce some names wrong, so don't get too mad if I pronounce a name wrong because I'm really trying my best. And also, Google likes lying, so they probably lied to me about how to pronounce a name. Okay, so I was told it was pronounced Janice or Janus. I don't know which one's correct, so we're just gonna go with Janice, just so it's simple. So if it's the other way around, whoopsie doodle. Okay, for Janice here, she's obviously Gwen. Like, I really don't know what else to tell you. Their personalities just match perfectly. I haven't seen any dispute based on, like, the casting. Everyone seems to agree this is Gwen, so Janice is now Gwen. Or Janice. Oh dear, what was I supposed to pronounce? Why can't I pronounce? So after I calmed down and relaxed and took some deep breathing, I think Gwen's still a really good choice, and I haven't seen anyone disagree, so I'm making everyone happy once again. Again, on the pronunciation of names, I'm probably still gonna get that wrong, but just bear with me in the literal sense and the metaphorical sense because we don't have actual bears. Well, I really hope we don't have bears. Anywho, going back to Mean Girls and less of this weird bear talk, we're gonna go into Damien, and not the one that was in the Total Drama reboot, even though I actually really like Damien, but no, he's not gonna get casted for this, even though they have the same name. I actually think Duncan's good casting, but Lashana is also a good choice, and I've seen other people say Lashana, like, is a good choice because, like, you know, like, she's friends with Gwen, but I also really like Gwen and Duncan just
Did you just say you like Gwen and Duncan as a couple?
I never said that. Also, why the heck is there Jeopardy music?
The music is so you eternally wait until you're let go, but you'll never be let go if you start shipping Gwenkin.
I was never shipping Gwenkin. I've been a Gortney stan for
I'm
like...
not so sure about that one. You can get canceled right now. We're sending you to jail.
I am completely innocent. Okay, at least it's jail, not anything else.
Oh, sorry? Jail? I meant Monopoly jail. I'm gonna tell Peter all about this one.
Why? No! But I do think Gwen and Duncan could actually be good friends, and I think they'd be a great comic relief, and I feel like they'd guide Bridget, or Katie in this case, sort of pretend to be a plastic, only for Bridget to actually become a plastic. Plus, Gwen and Duncan are not normal. Plus, realistically, in a school environment, these two are more outcast because I feel like Lashana would actually be a popular girl, and I don't think she would be with the outcast, especially because Gwen is literally a goth girl, and Duncan is a punk guy who causes crime and likes arson, so that's not necessarily the most normal group of kids you'll ever see. Okay, moving on from the Gwunkin stuff I was on about earlier, we're gonna go to the love interest for Katie and Regina, kinda, which is Aaron. At least I'm pretty sure, as I'm reading the script right now, I'm pretty sure his name was Aaron. So if I got that wrong, that's kind of a problem, but that's okay. My first choice was Tyler, which isn't actually that horrible for casting. I just remembered while I was actually working on that Tyler and Lindsay are a thing. I don't mind changing the whole entire canon so then Bridget and Tyler were together, but I just thought that was a weird pairing. And for some reason, I didn't think of something super obvious, but let's go into our next choice, which was Cody, because I like the rare pair Bridget x Cody for some reason, because I think they'd work well together, and then I'm like, no, this still seems wrong, because I couldn't see the obvious choice. And then I thought, oh, maybe Alejandro. And then I realized that was the wrong choice, and then I realized I was being silly because Jeff and Bridget are canonically a couple, and I feel like Jeff is the better choice. Don't get me wrong, I think Bridget deserves better, but just in the case of this Mean Girls situation, I think Jeff works well. Also, Jeff has said that Heather is the most attractive girl on the show, which kind of works because of the whole thing going on with Aaron and Regina, so I think it just works better. That's basically everyone. That was exhausting. I'm really glad the video's done though. Anywho, I'm gonna have to go to Monopoly jail, so see you in the next video, Fruity Loopers.